What's up, you guys? Ruski here, and today we are going to be doing a round one, maybe round two mock draft simulator for all teams of the NFL. So without further ado, let us do this mock draft. Starting off with the Cincinnati, the Chicago Bears, who has the first overall picks courtesy of the Carolina Panthers. And honestly, I think Justin Fields is done, so without further ado, we are drafting Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is the top prospected quarterback in my personal opinion. Now, this is controversial because I've seen a lot of mock drafts where the Washington Commanders go for Jaden Daniels or Drake May. For me personally, I honestly think Drake May will go second for the Commanders, and Jaden Daniels will go for the Patriots because I honestly love Jaden Daniels as a Patriot. But even though they're part of the same division as my team, which is the Miami Dolphins, but I don't care. But I think Jaden Daniels will fit perfectly for the Patriots, and Drake May fits perfectly in the Commanders. But what do you think in the comment section below? Do you think Jaden Daniels is going to go second or third? And is Drake May going to go second or third? Leave a comment down below and tell me what you think. Now going on with the Arizona Cardinals, next best thing, you got to go for Marvin Harrison Jr. Like the best wide receiver in this class so far, in my personal opinion. Now, the LA Chargers, shout out to my homie for his favorite team, the LA Chargers. This is tough because I've seen a lot of them going for wide receiver, maybe offensive tackle. But me personally, I don't see them trying to get a tight end. I honestly think Brock Bowers will fit perfectly for the Chargers, but I think they need to beef up the offensive line, in my personal opinion, to protect Justin Herbert. So without further ado, I am drafting Joe Alt as an LA Charger. Now for the New York Giants. This is kind of controversial. They desperately need some offensive tackle to protect. I don't even know who's going to be the quarterback for the Giants. Maybe Tommy DeVito or Daniel Jones. But in my personal opinion, we got to give them some weapons. But as much as I want an offensive tackle for the Giants, they need an offensive weapon. And Malik Neighbors fits that bill perfectly. But they could trade down and probably get something, or maybe just keep the wide receiver spot. But for the Tennessee Titans, we already know that Will Levis is going to be the starting quarterback. If he's not, then the head coach needs to be fired on the spot. But I 100% Will Levis is going to be the quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. Sorry, Ryan Tannehill, but it is what it is. We could do wide receiver for Rome Odunze or offensive tackle. In my personal opinion, they really need to beef up the offensive line, even though it's perfect as is, but you got to give Will Levis some other weapons other than Hopkins. So without further ado, I am drafting Rome Odunze for the Tennessee Titans. Now, the Atlanta Falcons. We don't even know who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, but in my personal opinion, beefing up the defensive line, the defensive line for the Atlanta Falcons, and having Dallas Turner in Atlanta Falcons colors would be kind of cool. I ain't gonna lie. Even Jared Verse or Latu Latu. I'm gonna go with Dallas Turner as an Atlanta Falcon. Now the Chicago Bears are back on the clock on number 9. They already have their franchise quarterback. We could beef up the offensive line for that said quarterback. We could give him another weapon in Brian Thomas, but that's not ideal. You could try to get one in the second round or the third. You could do offensive tackle. You could do another edge rusher for this, but in my personal opinion, this is where my tongue starts working. In my personal opinion, I'm gonna butcher this name, but this offensive tackle for Penn State would fit perfectly for the Chicago Bears. Now for the New York Jets. Hope and pray Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, but we need to beef up that offensive line desperately. And Fuaga is the top tier for my offensive tackle for the New York Jets. Now for the Minnesota Vikings. Ooh, we don't even know if Kirk Cousins is going to be available. Let alone they might draft a quarterback here. This is where I think they might draft a quarterback, but in my personal opinion, I think beefing up the defense would be perfect, and Nate Wiggins fits that bill, or Quinyon Mitchell would fit it. Latu is still on the board in verse. I'm gonna do verse because you have a 42 pick. You have a 42 pick on, for that. You might draft a quarterback there. But what do you think? Leave a comment section below. Do you think the Minnesota Vikings are going to draft a quarterback in the first round or in the second round? Leave a comment section down below. Now the Denver Broncos. This is where I would be drafting a quarterback because I don't think Russell Wilson is it for the Denver Broncos, and I am going to be drafting J.J. McCarthy for the Denver Broncos. Now for the Las Vegas Raiders. You could go anywhere with this pick. And what I'm going to do is actually trying to. We don't even. Oh, wait. Who's even going to be a starting quarterback? We don't even know who's going to be the starting quarterback. But beefing up the offensive line would prioritize that said quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders. And without further ado, I am drafting J.C. Latham from Alabama. Now the New Orleans Saints. See, now they could go, like, for the Las Vegas Raiders, they could go anywhere for this. Nate Wiggins is still available. I would draft Nate Wiggins. Now the Indianapolis Colts. Now, Anthony Richardson is healthy as an ox. We don't know if there's going to be any weapons. That's another key problem. Kool-Aid McKinstry will actually look cool in Colts colors. Maybe doing Latu. And Latu's still on the board. I honestly thinking Latu would be a perfect addition for the Indianapolis Colts, in my personal opinion. Now the Seattle Seahawks are on the clock. For the Seattle Seahawks, I honestly think getting a corner would be perfect for them to pair up with Devin Witherspoon, but beefing up the defensive line and Johnny Newton is still available. This is where I would say beefing up the defensive line would be perfect, so Johnny Newton fits that bill. Now the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is controversial because I've seen a lot of people drafting Jackson Powers Johnson as their top tier pick. I honestly see that happening because Trevor Lawrence needs desperate help for that O-line, and that is an option. Offensive tackle Amarius Mims would be perfect. Tyler Guyton would be perfect. Brock Bowers would look very, 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 very cool for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Running back? No, there's none. I honestly think drafting an offensive tackle would be perfect, and I think Amarius Mims will fit that bill. But in all honesty, I hate to do this because I love Jackson Powers Johnson. Oh man, no. I'm gonna do Amarius Mims. Amarius Mims will be perfect for he will keep Trevor Lawrence healthy. Now the Cincinnati Bengals, this is where Brock Bowers would go to them. And Brock Bowers will look good in Bengals colors, not to mention that it'll be a perfect weapon for Joe Burrow now that he's going to be perfectly healthy. Now for the LA Rams. Holy moly, look at all those picks. I would love the Dolphins to have some of those picks, but we don't. But for the LA Rams, I think Taron Arnold would be a perfect fit for the LA Rams. You need another defensive back weapon for the defense, and Arnold is probably the best one besides Kool-Aid McKinstry. And Pittsburgh Steelers, this is where I would draft Kool-Aid McKinstry to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Combining it with Joey Porter Jr. is beyond me. Now, my team, the Miami Dolphins, this is where I would draft Jackson Powers Johnson. Literally the only thing that I want for the Miami Dolphins to draft is Jackson Powers Johnson. Don't care about wide receiver, don't care about anything. Jackson Powers Johnson is the top priority because he is a hybrid of a center and a guard. If you don't want him to play center, you could go play on guard. If you don't want to play him on guard, you could put him in center. That is why I want Jackson Powers Johnson as a Miami Dolphin. Enough said, end of story. Now for the Philadelphia Eagles, Quinyon Mitchell. You need a cornerback pronto. Pronto. Now for the Houston Texans. They had an outstanding season, and the head coach is a defensive coach, and Byron Murphy fits that bill. Byron Murphy will fit perfectly as a Houston Texans, in my personal opinion. Now for the Dallas Cowboys. This is perfect for them because they could go offensive tackle. They could go defensive line. Trevonde Sweat would be perfect for them. They could do. I don't think they need a wide receiver because they have a lot of key weapons like Gallup. What's his name? My brain's melting. CeeDee Lamb and all that other stuff. But I think Tyler Guyton would fit that bill for an offensive tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, shout out to Tom Grossi. You have the Green Bay mother-loving Packers. And honestly, getting an offensive tackle would help Jordan Love. But look at all these picks. You could get another good offensive tackle in the late round. And I see Graham Barton. I honestly think he will go for the Packers in the second round. My personal fit. But I would give the Green Bay Packers a defensive back weapon, and I'm gonna butcher that name. D. Gene would be a perfect bill for the Green Bay Packers. Now for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is gonna be fun. Oh, Chop Robinson. That'll be something. I'm going to do Chop Robinson. Chop Robinson would actually fit that bill for that. Okay, yeah, I like Chop Robinson. I like that for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now for the Arizona Cardinals. They're back on the clock. They already have their franchise wide receiver, and I think beefing up the offensive line still is key, and Troy Fontenot is the perfect fit. And now the Buffalo Bills will finally get a perfect weapon other than Stephon Diggs, and that's Brian Thomas Jr. So now they finally have a wide receiver that they could throw to other than Stephon Diggs, and just perfect in my personal opinion. Now the Detroit Lions. Oh boy. This is getting a little bit tougher and tougher and tougher. I honestly think beefing up the defense would honestly fit that bill, and Braylon Trice would work as the Detroit Lions. In my personal opinion, I think that would work out. Now for the Baltimore Ravens, they are losing some key players in the defense. And Rakestraw Jr. would be a perfect fit for them. Jordan Morgan would be another good fit for them to keep Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson is fast as always. And I think getting a defensive back, a rookie defensive back for the Baltimore Ravens would be cool. Now the San Francisco 49ers. This is different because Drake Greenlaw got hurt. They could go anywhere on this. They could trade. Oh, they wouldn't be. I wouldn't trade down. I honestly think giving them a guard would be perfect, and I think Graham Barton would actually fit perfectly for the San Francisco 49ers. And now the Super Bowl back-to-back champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. Who would they go for in this round? Honestly, Jawan Taylor should no longer be a Chiefs. That's just a flat-out reason. They could give another I honestly think Troy Franklin or Keon Coleman. I think Keon Coleman will fit that bill for the Kansas City Chiefs. Excuse me. But there it is. There is the first round done, and by tomorrow I will be doing the second round for the NFL mock draft. But tell me what you guys think about that first round. What do you guys think for your team? Did I pick right? Did I pick wrong? Leave in the comment section below. And my name is Ruski-237, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.